press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello students, welcome to lecture number 8 of chemical bonding. In the last class, we had gone through the concepts of VBT, in which we have learned the concepts of the postulates of VBT, followed by the different nature of overlapping. Under that, we studied the nature of SS overlapping, SP overlapping, followed by PP overlapping. And in this class, we will move on to the another concept, that is types of covalent bonding. It is types of covalent bonds. Types of covalent bonds. In the beginning of a covalent bond concept, we have already explained that there are two types of covalent bond, that is polar covalent bond and non-polar covalent bond. But those types of covalent bonds, we can classify them based upon the nature of bonds. There, if the nature of bond is polar in nature, then that will become a polar covalent bond. Suppose if the nature of that bond is a non-polar covalent bond, then it becomes a non-polar covalent bond. But here, the type of covalent bond that we can classify them based upon the nature of overlapping. It is based on the nature of overlapping. Okay, based upon the nature of overlapping, these covalent bonds are further classified into two categories, that is first one, sigma bond. Okay, sigma bond. It is represented like this, sigma bond, followed by pi bond. Pi bond, it is represented like this, based upon the nature of overlapping of atomic orbitals. Okay, according to the concept of VBT, how the covalent bond is formed? Covalent bond is formed by the overlapping of half-filled atomic orbitals. If half-filled atomic orbitals overlap along their molecular axis, that results in the formation of the sigma bond. If the same atomic orbitals overlap along their lateral overlapping, then that leads to the formation of a pi bond. Okay, let us discuss with this bond one by one. Okay, first we will move on to the sigma bond. Sigma bond. As I already explained in the last class, how about the formation of sigma bond can take place means sigma bond is formed by the overlapping of atomic orbitals along their internuclear axis. Overlapping of atomic orbitals along their internuclear axis. Here it is s orbital containing one unpaired electron. This is another s orbital which also containing another unpaired electron with opposite spin, according to the concept of postulates of VBT. If we want to combine atomic orbitals, means both the atomic orbitals should have unpaired electrons with opposite spins. ಇಲ್ಲಿ unpaired electron ಇದೆ, opposite spins ಕೂಡ ಇದೆ. Okay, now both the atomic orbitals are ready to involved in a bond formation. In such cases, if both the half-filled atomic orbitals overlap along their internuclear axis, this is nucleus, this is nucleus, this is internuclear axis, along the head-on overlapping of atomic orbitals. If both the atomic orbitals overlap along their internuclear axis or the molecular axis anta ನಾವು ಕರಿತೇವೆ, or else it is also called as axial overlapping or head-on overlapping. Okay, all are same. Overlapping is done by the internuclear axis, molecular axis, axial overlapping of atomic orbitals, followed by head-on overlapping of atomic orbitals. All these results in the formation of a sigma bond only. Okay, the atomic orbitals overlapping takes place along their axial overlapping or along the internuclear axis, it results in the formation of a sigma bond. If it is 1s atomic orbital, this is another 1s atomic orbital, resulting sigma bond is 1s sigma bond, 1s sigma bond, which consists of 2 electrons with the opposite spin. Okay, this is how the formation of a sigma bond can takes place in between two s atomic orbitals. Okay, now we can define the sigma bond. How the sigma bond formation can takes place? It is a type of covalent bond which is formed by the overlapping of two half-filled atomic orbitals along their molecular axis, or a type of covalent bond which is formed by the overlapping of atomic orbitals along their internuclear axis, along their molecular axis, or a sigma bond is formed by the axial overlapping of two atomic orbitals. This is also the definition of sigma bond. Or sigma bond is formed by the head-on overlapping of atomic orbitals. ಇವೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಕೂಡ ಕಾಮನ್, ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಕೂಡ ಸೇಮ್. Okay, what is meant by sigma bond means it is a covalent bond. A covalent bond is formed by the overlapping of atomic orbitals, along their internuclear axis or molecular axis, or head-on or axial overlapping is called sigma bond. A covalent bond, it is also a type of covalent bond. How it is going to be formed? It is formed by the overlapping of atomic orbitals either along the internuclear axis or molecular axis, or by the head-on overlapping or axial overlapping. All these overlapping results in the formation of a sigma bond. Okay, then it is in between SS aitu 1s sigma bond formation aitu. Here we explain about the formation of sigma bond between two s orbitals. Suppose if we can take one s orbital and one p orbital, how about the bond formation? If we take one s orbital and one p orbital, what is the shape of s orbital? Shape of s orbital is a spherical in nature. Shape of p orbital is a dumbbell shaped it is. Okay, according to the VBT, both the atomic orbitals should possess the same sign. If both are having the same sign only, then positive overlap will take place, in phase overlapping will take place, and it leads to the formation of a covalent bond. If there is a negative charge instead of positive, then there is no formation of covalent bond. Such type of overlapping is called negative overlapping. Okay, here both the atoms having positive charges, then both the atomic orbitals are ready to involved in a bond formation. Now this is s orbital, this is p orbital, then the resulting overlap, this s orbital contains a single electron, this p orbital contains single electron with opposite spin. The resulting overlap will be like this. The resulting overlap, this is s orbital, this is p orbital. Okay, resulting overlap leads to the formation of sp sigma bond. This sp sigma bond is formed by the overlapping of atomic orbitals along their molecular axis, or head-on overlapping of one s orbital with one p orbital. It leads to the formation of sp sigma bond. Clear? The overlapping of s orbital, its shape is spherical, with p orbital, its shape is dumbbell. By the molecular axis overlap, it results in the formation of a sp sigma bond. Okay, it results in the formation of sp sigma bond. This is how in case of a s and p orbitals formation of sigma bond can takes place, right? Next, if both the atomic orbitals are p orbitals. Third type of sigma bond, if both the atomic orbitals are p orbitals, both are having single electron, both possess a same sign, and both are having opposite spin. All the conditions are satisfied here. This is one p orbital followed by another p orbital. Okay, in these cases, the overlapping of these two p orbitals, if they overlap along their molecular axis, because these pp orbitals have two choices. If they overlap along their molecular axis, they results in the formation of sigma bond. At the same time, if the both p orbitals overlap along their lateral overlapping or sidewise overlapping, that leads to the formation of pi bond. That is why if both the p orbitals are undergoes overlapping by their internuclear axis, overlapping along their molecular axis aitondre, that leads to the formation of pp sigma bond. That leads to the formation of pp sigma bond. Okay, how about the formation of pp sigma bond takes place? Pp sigma bond is formed by the overlapping of two p orbitals, along their molecular axis. That leads to the formation of pp sigma bond. Suppose if both the p orbitals arrange themselves like this, ಈ ಥರ ಅರೇಂಜ್ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಈ ಓರಿಯೆಂಟೇಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದರೆ, ದಟ್ leads the formation of pi bond, not sigma bond. Okay, p orbitals, if both two p orbitals are there, means they have both the possibilities. Either they can form a sigma bond or they can form a pi bond, but everything depends upon their orientation. If they orient like this, leads to the formation of sigma bond. If they orient like this, they leads to the formation of a pi bond. Okay, you just remember this. The third type of sigma bond, that is p comma p sigma bond, in which it is formed by the overlapping of two p orbitals along their molecular axis, leads to the formation of pp sigma bond. Okay, then how many types of sigma bonds are there now? The sigma bond, the possibility of sigma bond is takes place in between either ss sigma ss takes place now, or it is takes place between sigma sp and sigma pp. Sigma s ಮತ್ತು s ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್ ನಡುವೆ ಕೂಡ ಸಿಗ್ಮಾ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಜನರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. Followed by in between s and p orbitals also we can generate sigma bond. At last, in between two p atomic orbitals along a molecular axis, along axial overlapping, which leads to the formation of what? Sigma bond. In this way we can form a sigma bond. Suppose if we consider the extent of overlapping in order to compare the strength of bond between ss, sp and pp orbitals. If you want to know about the bond strength and bond length among these three atomic orbitals, which one bond is more stronger, which bond strength is larger, which bond strength is smaller. In order to compare these criteria, so we must know about the extent of overlapping. When we compare the extent of overlapping among sigma ss, sigma sp followed by sigma pp atomic orbitals, extent of overlapping for sigma SS is greater. Sigma SS atomic orbital is greater than sigma sp is greater than sigma pp. ಇದೇನಾಗಿರ್ತದೆ extent of overlapping. Extent of overlapping is maximum in case of a SS. Suppose by using this concept extent of overlapping, we need to go through a bond length and bond strength. Bond length. How do you compare the bond lengths of SS, SP with PP? ಯಾವ ಥರ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? If the extent of overlapping is considered, extent of overlapping is maximum in case of SS overlap, SS orbital. ಹೌದಲ್ವಾ? ಇಫ್ ದ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಓವರ್ಲ್ಯಾಪಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಬಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಓವರ್ಲ್ಯಾಪಿಂಗ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ. ಎಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಓವರ್ಲ್ಯಾಪಿಂಗ್ ಆದಾಗ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಓವರ್ಲ್ಯಾಪಿಂಗ್ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ಡ್. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಈ ಥರ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಓವರ್ಲ್ಯಾಪಿಂಗ್ ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಇದೆ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಓವರ್ಲ್ಯಾಪಿಂಗ್ ಇಷ್ಟಾಗಿದೆ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಓವರ್ಲ್ಯಾಪಿಂಗ್ ಇಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ನೋಡಿ, ಹಿಯರ್ extent of overlapping ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದೆ, only small amount of overlapping is there. Here it is more and here it is even more, like this. If the strength of the bond or length of the bond which depends upon this extent of overlapping, if the overlapping is maximum, extent of overlapping is maximum, then the length of bond is less. ಎಷ್ಟು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಓವರ್ಲ್ಯಾಪಿಂಗ್ ಆಗ್ತದೋ ಅಷ್ಟು ಬಾಂಡ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಹೌದಲ್ವಾ? ಫಾಲೋಡ್ ಬೈ ವಿತ್ ದ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಲೆಂತ್. ಆಸ್ ವಿ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಮೀಟರ್ಸ್, ಬಾಂಡ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಆರ್ ಇನ್ವರ್ಸ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಪೋರ್ಷನಲ್ ಟು ಈಚ್ ಅದರ್. ಇಫ್ ದೇರ್ ಈಸ್ ಅನ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ bond strength is going to be decreased. Okay, here bond length for SS, bond length for sigma SS is less than sigma SP is less than sigma PP atomic orbitals. Bond length sigma SS, because of more extent of overlapping, it has less bond length than this, followed by this. Okay, suppose if we compare them with a bond strength among sigma SS, sigma SP and sigma PP overlapping, ಯಾವುದು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ? I already told you that bond length and bond strength are inversely proportional. ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಬಾಂಡ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಆ ಬಾಂಡಿನ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಬಾಂಡ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ದೊಡ್ಡದಾಗ್ತಾ ಹೋದಂಗೆ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಗೆಟ್ ವೀಕನ್ಸ್, and by giving less amount of energy we can break that bond. Okay, like that the bond length order which follows like this: SS bond length is less than that of SP followed by PP. That is why bond strength follows the order PP less than SP less than sigma SS. That means sigma SS bond has got more bond strength followed by this sigma SP followed by sigma PP. ಅಂದರೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಓವರ್ಲ್ಯಾಪಿಂಗ್ ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ? ಸಿಗ್ಮಾ SS ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಓವರ್ಲ್ಯಾಪಿಂಗ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತದೋ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಅಷ್ಟು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ವಿತ್ ದ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೈ ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಮೋರ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ to break the bond. That means that SS atomic orbitals, they used to get more amount of energy followed by SP and followed by PP. Okay, the bond strength of PP is less than SP followed by SS. You just remember these concepts. Okay, next the concept of sigma bond is clear. How it is going to be formed? By the axial overlapping of two atomic orbitals. In this sigma bond there are three types of overlapping we have studied: SS sigma bond, SP sigma bond and PP sigma bond, and we can compare them also with the extent of overlapping, bond length and bond strength. You just remember these concepts based upon this sigma bond. Okay, next another type of covalent bond, that is pi bond. pi bond. Okay, how the pi bond is formed? Pi bond, if both the atomic orbitals overlap along lateral manner or sidewise manner, then it leads to the formation of a pi bond. Sigma bond ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ, ಓವರ್ಲ್ಯಾಪಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಟಾಮಿಕ್ ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲಾಂಗ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಸ್ ಆದರೆ ಸಿಗ್ಮಾ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಪಿ ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್ಸ್ ಇಫ್ ದೇ ಓವರ್ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ ಅಲಾಂಗ್ ದೇರ್ sidewise overlapping. If we consider two p orbitals, they orient like this. Okay, this is the internuclear axis. These two p orbitals which overlaps along their molecular axis, along their lateral overlapping or sidewise overlapping, lateral or sidewise overlapping, sidewise overlapping aguttu, that leads to the formation of one bond, that is pi bond anta karitivi. Okay, how it is going to be formed? A covalent bond is formed by the overlapping of atomic orbitals along sidewise, this word is important, along sidewise or lateral manner leads to the formation of, along sidewise or lateral, the resulting bond is pi bond. The resulting bond is called a pi bond. Okay, and pi bond is majorly takes place either in between two p orbitals or in between p and d orbital or in between both d and d orbitals. As like a sigma bond is formed in between ss, sp and pp atomic orbitals, pi bonds also takes place only in between 2p atomic orbitals. There is no formation of a pi bonds in between s and p. S and p atomic orbitals ನಡುವೆ pi bond ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ಜನರೇಟ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. Pi bond formation can takes place only in between, either it is in between 2p atomic orbitals or it is in between one p atomic orbital and one d atomic orbitals, or it is takes place in between d atomic orbitals. ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಕೂಡ ಎರಡು d atomic orbital ಆದರೂ pi bond generation possibility ಇದೆ. 1p 1d ಇದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ generation possibility ಇದೆ, followed by if both are p atomic orbitals, then also possibility is there. Okay, this is an example for this pp atomic orbitals ಗೆ example ಇದು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, both the p orbitals overlap along their sidewise. It results in the formation of overlapping like this. ಈ ಥರ ಓವರ್ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಓವರ್ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಮಗೆ ಪಿ ಪೈ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಪಿ ಪೈ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಈ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಏನು ಹೊಸದಲ್ಲ. ದಿಸ್ ಪೈ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಈಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ದಿ sidewise overlapping of two p orbitals. If the pi bond formation takes place in between two p orbitals ಆದರೆ resulting pi bond ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು p pi bond ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ, ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಪೈ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗಿರೋ ಅಟಾಮಿಕ್ ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್ಸು ಎರಡೂ ಪಿ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಪಿ ಪೈ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. ಓಕೆನಪ್ಪ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, if you can take the formation of a O2 molecule ನೀವು ತಗೋಬೋದು, N2 molecule ತಗೋಬೋದು. ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ ನಾನು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಇದನ್ನು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ ಈ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟನ್ನು, ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ O2 molecules, ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ N2 molecule, ಇಲ್ಲೇನು ಯಾವ ಥರ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು. ಓಕೆ, This is how the formation of a p-pi bond takes place. P-pi or p-pi d-pi. Next type of overlapping between p orbitals and d orbitals is a p-pi and d-pi. P-pi and d-pi. What is the shape of a p-pi d-pi? What is the shape of p orbital? P orbital has got shape like this. Shape of p orbital is a dumbbell shaped. Okay, followed by shape of d orbital is like this. Shape of p orbital, it is double dumbbelled shape. This is p orbital, this is d orbital. This lobe got single electron, unpaired electron, and this one got also single electron with the opposite spin. According to the postulates of VBT, the combining atomic orbitals should have same sign. Along with that, combining atomic orbital should have a opposite spin. Unpaired electrons with opposite spin, that is a most important condition of VBT. Okay, in between p atomic orbital and d atomic orbital, overlapping takes place along sidewise manner. It leads to the formation of p-pi d-pi bonding. p-pi d-pi bonding. ಯಾವ ಥರ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಇದು p-pi d-pi bonding formation. Okay, here one p orbital is overlaps with one d orbital by obeying the conditions of postulates of VBT. Overlapping takes place. After that, there is a formation of a p-pi and d-pi. Here the resulting bond is a pi bond. The including orbitals are p and d. That is why the name is fixed as a p-pi d-pi bonding. p-pi d-pi bonding. Okay, then how we can know that it is p-pi and d-pi? ಯಾಕಿದು p-p ಯಾಕೆ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು, p-pi ಯಾಕೆ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು? ಓಕೆ, ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲನ್ನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ದ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ p-pi and d-pi ಬಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ, ಹೌ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ವಿ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಆರ್ ಹೌ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ವಿ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ದ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ p-pi and d-pi ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ಸ್? ಓಕೆ, let us go with the examples of p-pi and d-pi bonding. p-pi and d-pi bonding. If they have given an example like this, example SO2, it is an example for a p-pi d-pi bonding in which or identify the number of p-pi d-pi bonds in SO2 molecule. ಈ ಥರ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ದ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ p-pi and d-pi bonds present in the SO2 molecule. These concepts are important for competitive examinations. There they can ask directly how many p-pi and d-pi bonds are present in this molecule of SO2. Okay, how can we know that how many bonds are present? p-pi d-pi ಅಂತ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತದೆ? Okay, in order to understand this concept, we need to go through. First, we have to take a sulfur. Atomic number of sulfur is 16. It is having configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p, 4 it is. Total 10 plus 6, 16. I can take the valence shell only because the inner shell, electrons of inner shell which do not involved in a bond formation. Instead, electrons of outermost shell or the valence shell's electrons are involved in a bond formation. That is why I can consider only the 3s and 3p atomic orbitals. In a 3s atomic orbital, it is having 2 electrons. In 3p atomic orbitals, it is having how many electrons? 4 electrons. 4 electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4 electrons. Okay. Then, what is the structure of this SO2? How can we represent this SO2? By the Lewis and Cosel's structure, we came to know how to represent the structure of the molecules. Okay, this is the structure of SO2 molecule. This is the structure of a SO2 molecule. It forms a double bond with 2 oxygen atom. Double bond with 2 oxygen atom. Okay. As I already told, if there are 2 bonds in between the 2 atoms means first bond is always a sigma bond. If any 2 atoms having single bond means that is always a sigma bond. If the atoms consist of 2 bonds means in which one is sigma and one is pi. If the same atoms consist of 3 bonds means in which one is sigma and 2 are pi. Howdalva? Like that, in this example also, here sulfur has 2 bonds with oxygen means in which the first bond is always a sigma bond. Any bond you can take. This can also be a sigma bond. First bond is called sigma bond and the second bond is a pi bond. The same thing is repeated for this also. Here it is a sigma bond. This will be the pi bond. Okay, next. Here we know about the orbital structure of this sulfur atom. Here in this structure, sulfur atom is making 4 bonds. 4 bonds means it requires how many unpaired electrons? If any atom, if it wants to form a 4 bonds means it requires how many unpaired electrons? It needs to acquire 4 unpaired electrons. It needed 4 unpaired electrons here, but when we consider the orbital structure of this sulfur, it is having only 2 unpaired electrons. 2 unpaired electrons ಇದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದರೆ 4 ಬಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. 4 ಬಾಂಡ್ಸನ್ನು ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಮಗೆ 4 ಅನ್ಪೇರ್ಡ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಟು ಫಾರ್ಮ್ a 4 unpaired electrons, in order to form a 4 unpaired electrons, here 3s 3p 3d ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಬಟ್ 3d ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. 3d ವ್ಯಾಕೆಂಟ್ ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. in order to convert these 2 electrons into 4 unpaired electrons, ಇಲ್ಲಿ 2 unpaired electrons ಇದೆ, ಬಟ್ ನಮಗೆ 4 unpaired electron ಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, we just excite 1 electron from 3p to 3d atomic orbital. From 3p atomic orbital to 3d atomic orbital ಗೆ 1 electron ಅನ್ನು ಎಕ್ಸೈಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ excited state ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ excited state of sulfur, excited state of a sulfur atom. ಇನ್ನು ಯಾವ ಫಾರ್ಮಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಅದು, this is again 3s, this is 3p, again this is 3d. ನೋಡಿ 3s as it is having 2 electrons, okay, followed by this 3p with the loss of 1 electron, it left with only 1 electron, it is 3p, and with 1 electron, with the shift of 1 electron, this 3d atomic orbital has got 1 electron. Now count the number of electrons. Number of unpaired electrons are how much here? Here we have 4 unpaired electrons, 1 2 3 and 4, 4 unpaired electrons ಇದೆಪ್ಪ. Now this sulfur atom is ready to involve in a bond formation. Okay, ಸಲ್ಫರ್ ಆಟಮಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ, 4 ಅನ್ಪೇರ್ಡ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಆ ಅನ್ಪೇರ್ಡ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂದಮೇಲೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾವೆ, ದೇ ಆರ್ ರೆಡಿ ಟು ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಇನ್ ಅ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್. ಓಕೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ along with the sulfur we will have 2 oxygen atoms here. Oxygen atom, this is regarding the sulfur. This is oxygen, atomic number 8, configuration is 1s2 2s2 2p4 it is, I can consider only 2s2, 2p2 or 2p4, 2s2, 2p4. This is 2s, this is 2p, 2s2, 2p4 it is. Okay, next another oxygen atom also having the same configuration. This is 2s followed by 2p. In 2p it is having how many electrons? It is having two unpaired electrons, because oxygen here it can form 2 bonds na, it requires 2 unpaired electrons, 2 already there, no problem. No need of exciting the electron from this 2p orbital, because we have already the required number of unpaired electrons. Here we excite 1 electron from 3p, because here we do not have a required number of unpaired electrons for chemical bond formation. Here oxygen it can form 2 bonds. Here it is already having 2 electrons, unpaired electrons, that is enough. No need of exciting the electron from 2s or 2p. Okay, now how this sigma and pi bond is takes place? ಯಾವ ಥರ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ? ವೆದರ್ ದ ಪೈ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಪಿ ಪೈ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಆರ್ ಡಿ ಪೈ ಬಾಂಡ್. ನಮಗೆ ಪೈ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, ಇದು ಪೈ ಬಾಂಡ್, ಬಟ್ ಇದು ಪಿ ಪೈ ಬಾಂಡ ಅಥವಾ ಡಿ ಪೈ ಬಾಂಡ? ವೆದರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪೈ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಈಸ್ ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಐದರ್ ಇನ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ 2 p ಅಟಾಮಿಕ್ ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್ಸ್, 2 p ಅಟಾಮಿಕ್ ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್ ನಡುವೆ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ, ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು p ಒಂದು d ಅಟಾಮಿಕ್ ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್ ನಡುವೆ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ ಅಂತ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. Okay, now we will came to know about the nature of this pi orbital, whether it belongs to p pi or p d pi. Okay, next you just observe this S and O sulfur atom. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಸಲ್ಫರ್ ಆಟಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 3p 3s ಅಟಾಮಿಕ್ ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್ಸ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಗಳು completely filled ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ, which do not involved in a bond formation. These 3 atomic orbitals or these 3s atomic orbitals which is completely filled, that is why which do not involved in a bond formation. The only available orbitals involved in a bond formation are 3p and 1 electron from 3d. Now sulfur atom, 3p atomic orbital of a sulfur atom which overlaps with 2p atomic orbital of oxygen. ನೋಡಿ, ನಾವು ಈ 2 ಆಟಮನ್ನು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗ್ಮಾ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಜನರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸಿಗ್ಮಾ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಜನರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ? ಸಿಗ್ಮಾ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ್ದ್ರ ನಡುವೆ ಆಗ್ಬೋದಪ್ಪ? ಸಿಗ್ಮಾ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಐದರ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಎಸ್ SP ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ PP. ಈ ಎಲ್ಲದ್ರ ನಡುವೆನೂ ಸಿಗ್ಮಾ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. Pi bond, it is either in between pp, dp followed by dd. Okay, next here 3p atomic orbital of a sulfur, 3p atomic orbital of a sulfur which overlaps with 2p atomic orbital of oxygen. In between p and p atomic orbital sigma bond generation possibility ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಪಾಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಇದೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೈ ದ 3p ಅಟಾಮಿಕ್ ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್, ಈ ಅಟಾಮಿಕ್ ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್ ವಿಚ್ ಓವರ್ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಸ್ ವಿತ್ 2p ಅಟಾಮಿಕ್ ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್, 3p 2p 3p of sulfur, 2p of oxygen which overlaps along their molecular axis results in the formation of 3p 2p sigma bond. 3p 2p sigma bond generate ಆಯಿತು. This orbital which overlaps with this 2p atomic orbital along the molecular axis ನಮಗೇನು ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಯಿತು? ಸಿಗ್ಮಾ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಯಿತು. One bond is clear. Next, if you consider this sulfur atom with this oxygen atom, pi bond ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮಾತಾಡೋಣ. First we get cleared with this concept of sigma bond. Okay, first one is clear. In between the sulfur and oxygen, 3p atomic orbital of a sulfur which overlaps with 2p atomic orbital of oxygen along their molecular axis results in the formation of a 3p 2p sigma bond. Okay, then if you consider these two atoms, sulfur and oxygen atoms, here one electron is already filled, already it can make a sigma bond. Then the next electron of 3p atomic orbitals, these atomic orbital, 3p atomic orbital from sulfur, 3p atomic orbital from sulfur which overlaps with ನಾವು ಇದೇ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಅಂತ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ದ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಅನದರ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಆಟಮ್. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಆಟಮ್ ಇದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಆಟಮ್ ಇದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಫಾರ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಇಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಿಸ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಆಟಮ್, ಈ ಸಲ್ಫರ್, ಈ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್, sulfur with this oxygen, and here we have to consider the electron from another oxygen atom ಇಂದ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, the 3p atomic orbital of a sulfur which overlaps with 2p atomic orbital of oxygen along their molecular axis. ಏನು ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಾಗ 3p 2p ಸಿಗ್ಮಾ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಯಿತು. 3p 2p ಸಿಗ್ಮಾ ಬಾಂಡ್. ನೋಡಿ, ಇದು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ವಾ? ಹೌ ದ 3p 2p ಬಾಂಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ 3p atomic orbital of sulfur which overlaps with 2p atomic orbital of oxygen along the molecular axis, resulting in the formation of one more sigma bond. It is 2p. It is clear ನಪ್ಪ? ಸಲ್ಫರ್ ಮತ್ತು ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಆಟಮ್ಗಳ ನಡುವೆ ಒಂದೊಂದರ ನಡುವೆ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಸಿಗ್ಮಾ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಇದೆ. ಅದು ಯಾವ್ಯಾವುದ್ರ ನಡುವೆ ಆಗಿದೆ? 3p and 2p ನಡುವೆ ಆಗಿದೆ. 3p and 2p, 2 sigma bonds are cleared. Okay, now pi ಬಾಂಡಿಗೆ ಬರೋಣ. ವೆದರ್ ದಿಸ್ pi ಬಾಂಡ್ is p pi ಬಾಂಡ್ ಆರ್ p pi d pi ಬಾಂಡ್ ಅಂತ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, now these two electrons from 3p atomic orbitals are already utilized for the formation of sigma bond, and we left with two electrons. One is present in a p orbital, another one is present in a d orbital. Okay, now pi bond formation takes place ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ. ಯಾವ್ಯಾವುದ್ರ ನಡುವೆ? It is takes place either in between pp or in between dp, or it is in between d and d atomic orbitals. Okay, here ನೋಡಿ, the p atomic orbital, 3p atomic orbital of sulfur. ನೋಡಿ, 3p atomic orbital of sulfur which overlaps along lateral manner or sidewise overlapping with the 2p atomic orbital of oxygen. ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಇದು p ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್, ಅದು p ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್. ಇವೆರಡು ನಡುವೆ ಸಿಗ್ಮಾ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಡೌಟ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸಿಗ್ಮಾ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆದರೆ ಈ ಎರಡೂ ಆಟಮ್ಸ್ಗಳ ನಡುವೆ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಒಂದು ಸಿಗ್ಮಾ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ದೇರ್ ಈಸ್ ನೋ ಪಾಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಸಿಗ್ಮಾ ಬಾಂಡ್. ದೇರ್ ಈಸ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಪಾಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಟು ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಅ ಪೈ ಬಾಂಡ್. Okay, that is why in between the 3p atomic orbital of sulfur which overlaps with 2p atomic orbital of oxygen along the sidewise overlapping, which leads to the formation of what? Pi bond. The involved orbitals are both p orbitals. Idu p orbital, idu p orbital ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅದನ್ನ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿಬಹುದು ನಾವು? We can call it as 3p 2p ಅಥವಾ 3p pi 2p pi bond or pi bond ಅಂತ ಕರಿಬಹುದು. 3p pi 2p pi bond, because the nature of bond here it is pi bond, and that pi bond is formed in between these 3p and 2p atomic orbital. 3p of sulfur which overlaps along sidewise with the 2p of oxygen. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ? pi bond ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀರಿ? p pi bond ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆನಾ? Then at last all these three electrons are involved in a bond formation, and we left only one vacant orbital, that is from 3d atomic orbital. 3d ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಖಾಲಿ ಇದೆ. ಇವಾಗ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? 3d atomic orbital of sulfur, 3d atomic orbital of sulfur which overlaps with 2p atomic orbital of oxygen. Now we are talking about these two atoms. Here ಒನ್ ಮೋರ್ ಪೈ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಈಸ್ ದೇರ್. ಆ ಪೈ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಯಾವುದ್ರ ನಡುವೆ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ. ಓಕೆ, ಯಾವುದ್ರ ನಡುವೆ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ. ಸಲ್ಫರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದು ವೆಕೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆಯಪ್ಪ? 3D ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್ ವೆಕೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ. ಫಾಲೋಡ್ ಬೈ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಆಟಮಲ್ಲಿ 1 ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್, ಅದು 2p ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವೆಕೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ. ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದ ಕೋವಲೆಂಟ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ದಿ lateral overlapping of orbitals in between 3D and 2p. 3D and 2p ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? 3D pi 2p pi pi bond ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಯಾವ ಥರ ಇದು ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಯಿತು? ಡಿ ಪೈ ಪಿ ಪೈ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಬೈ ದಿ ಓವರ್ಲ್ಯಾಪಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ vacant 3D atomic orbital of sulfur with vacant 3D 2p atomic orbital of oxygen. The resulting covalent bond will be a pi bond. ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು 3D pi 2p pi bond ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಇವಾಗ ಕೇಳಿದಾರಲ್ವ ಏನಂತ? ಹೌ ಮೆನಿ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಪಿ ಪೈ ಡಿ ಪೈ ಬಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ SO2 ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಅಂತ. ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಹಂಗಾರೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ? SO2 ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ? SO2 ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲಲ್ಲಿ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ 1 G pi P pi bond is present, 1 bond, and 1 P pi P pi bond and 2 sigma bonds. Okay, 2 sigma bond formation ಆಗಿದೆ, 1 P pi P pi bond formation ಆಗಿದೆ, followed by 1 D pi and P pi bond is formed. Okay, this is how we can identify the number of bonds, pi bonds or sigma bonds present in the particular molecule. Okay, next. Next, we will move on to the one more example, that is SO3 molecule. SO3 molecule ಕೊಟ್ಟು identify the number of P pi and D pi bonds present in SO3 molecule. SO3 molecule ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು identify the number of sigma or number of identify the number of P pi D pi bonds in the particular SO3 molecule. The same manner as we did in the SO2 molecule, here also we have to follow the same steps in order to form or in order to identify the number of P pi and D pi bonds present in the SO3 molecule. Okay, first we have to write the structure of SO3 molecule. Structure of SO3 molecule ಈ ಥರ ಇದೆಪ್ಪ, structure of SO3 molecule. Okay, but sulfur atomic number 16. Directly I can write it, the valence shell configuration of sulfur 3s 3p followed by 3d. Sulfur ಅಲ್ಲಿ 3d atomic orbital vacant ಇರ್ತದೆ, 3s2 3p4 3d 0 actually it is. 3s ಅಲ್ಲಿ 2 electrons ಇರುತ್ತೆ, 3p ಅಲ್ಲಿ 4 electrons ಇರುತ್ತೆ, 3d ಅಲ್ಲಿ 0 electron ಇರುತ್ತೆ. But here sulfur is making how many bonds here? Sulfur is making 6 bonds, 6 bonds ಅನ್ನು ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. Sulfur is making how many bonds here? 6 bonds. 6 bonds formation ಮಾಡಿದೆ. That means how many unpaired electrons are required by these sulfur atoms? ಎಷ್ಟು unpaired electrons ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ? 6 unpaired electrons ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. Because if you consider this one bond is formed by the mutual sharing of one electron from sulfur, another electron from oxygen. That is why here we have how many bonds? 6 bonds are there. 6 bonds means the sulfur should have 6 unpaired electrons. That is why here the sulfur has how many unpaired electrons here? Only 2 electrons. First we have to convert these 2 electrons into a 6 unpaired electrons. How do you convert those electrons into 6 electrons? By the method of excitation. ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ನಾವು? First we have to excite 1 electron from 3p to 3d. Now it becomes 1, 2, 3, 4 ಆಯಿತು. Now also not satisfied. One more time we have to excite one more electron from this 3s. Now by the first excitation of electron from 3p followed by the second excitation of electron from 3s, we call it as a second by first and second excitation state. ಯಾವ ಥರ ಬರ್ತದೆ? 3s after the transfer of one electron into 3d, it left with only one electron. ಹೌದಲ್ವಾ? Next 3p after losing this one electron, 3s ಅಲ್ಲಿ 1 ಇದೆ, 3p ಅಲ್ಲಿ 3 electrons ಉಳಿತು, followed by 3d ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ 1 electron transferred from 3p, another electron transferred from 3s. So 3d has 2 electrons, 3p has 3 electrons, and 3s has 1 electron. Now we have 6 unpaired electrons, and now we have 6 atomic orbitals which are ready to involve in a bond formation. Okay, is it clear? Formation ಎಷ್ಟು number of electrons ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು? 6 electrons ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. By the method of first and second excitation, ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ? We have prepared this 6 unpaired electrons. Then along with this we have also, how many oxygen atoms are there here? We have how many oxygen atoms? 3 oxygen atoms. 3 oxygen atoms ಇದೆಯಪ್ಪ. ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ನಾವು? 3 oxygen atoms ಅನ್ನ 3 oxygen atom. First oxygen atom configuration is like this: 2s, this is 2p. 2s ಅಲ್ಲಿ 2 electrons ಇರುತ್ತೆ, 2p ನಲ್ಲಿ 2 unpaired electrons ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಎರಡೇ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ no need of converting these 2 electrons into something electrons, because we required only 2 electrons. We have already those 2 electrons. Okay, next, second oxygen atom also exists in the same manner, that is 2s, 2p, 2s having 2 electrons, 2p is having how many electrons? Total 4 electrons, in which 2 are unpaired orbitals. Another one, it is third oxygen atom, which is also having the same type of structure, that is 2, 2, 1, 1. This is 2s, this is 2p. Now we have to look into the structure of SO3. In between any 2 atoms, you just remember that concept. In between any 2 atoms, one bond is always a sigma bond. Okay, if there is only one bond, means that is a sigma bond. If there are 2 bonds, means in which one bond is must a sigma bond, another bond will be a pi bond. Okay, in between these 2 sulfur and oxygen atom, first one it is sigma bond. In between these 2 one also, first one is sigma bond. In between these 2 atom also sigma bond. That means in SO3 molecule we have 3 sigma bonds followed by 3 pi bonds. But we need to know about among these 3 pi orbitals, which one is a p pi d pi bond. How many number of p pi and d pi bonds are there? Okay, that we need to know about. First we just go to the formation of this sulfur oxygen sigma bond. ಯಾವ ಥರ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? ಫಸ್ಟ್ 3s ಅಟಾಮಿಕ್ ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ವೇಕೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ, ಇದು ಕೂಡ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನಲ್ಲಿ. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲಲ್ಲಿ 3s ಅಟಾಮಿಕ್ ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್ಲು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ಲಿ ಫಿಲ್ಡ್ ಇತ್ತು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅದು ಬಾಂಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕೇಸ್ ದಿಸ್ 3s atomic orbital exists in unpaired electron, that is why it is involved in a bond formation. Right here 3s atomic orbital of sulfur which overlaps with 2p atomic orbital of a oxygen atom, 2p atomic orbital of a oxygen atom which overlaps with 3s atomic orbital of sulfur. Okay, ss and sp and pp ಇವೆಲ್ಲವುಗಳ ನಡುವೆನೂ ಸಿಗ್ಮಾ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ 3s and 2p ಪಾಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಸಿಗ್ಮಾ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಇದೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೈ ಇನ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ 3s and 2p ಆಕ್ಸಿಯಲ್ ಓವರ್ಲ್ಯಾಪಿಂಗ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅಥವಾ ಇನ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದ ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಸ್ ಓವರ್ಲ್ಯಾಪಿಂಗ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ಬಾಂಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ 3s 2p 3s 2p ಸಿಗ್ಮಾ ಬಾಂಡ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ 3s 2p ಸಿಗ್ಮಾ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಲ್ವ ಹೇಗೆ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ? ಬೈ ದ axial overlapping of 3s atomic orbital of sulfur with 2p atomic orbital of oxygen results in the formation of this sigma bond. ಯಾವುದರ ನಡುವೆ ಆಗಿದೆ ಇದು? 3s and 2p. Is it clear? Next ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬನ್ನಿ. In between the sulfur atom and this oxygen atom, this we have one more sigma bond here. How it is formed ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ by the overlapping of 3p atomic orbital. ಇದು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಹೋಯಿತು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ 3p atomic orbital of sulfur which axially overlaps with 2p atomic orbital of oxygen. ಇದು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಹೋಯಿತು. ಒಂದು ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಆಟಮ್ ಕತೆ ಮುಗೀತು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಆಟಮಿಗೆ ಬನ್ನಿ. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ 3p atomic orbital of sulfur which overlaps with 2p atomic orbital of oxygen, 2p atomic orbital of oxygen along their molecular axis, along their molecular axis. pp ನಡುವೆ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಸಿಗ್ಮಾ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಇದೆ. ಆಗೇನಾಗ್ತದೆ? ಇನ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ 3p ಆಫ್ s 2p ಆಫ್ o ಇವೆರಡರ ನಡುವೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? 3p and 2p ಸಿಗ್ಮಾ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. 3p 2p sigma bond. One more sigma bond is generated. Next this is also generated. We left with this oxygen atom. Now we should consider this sulfur and this oxygen atom. This one is also over. Then 3p atomic orbital andre second p orbital ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? These 3p atomic orbital of sulfur which overlaps with 2p atomic orbital of sulfur, 2p atomic orbital of oxygen, ಈ oxygen atom 3p atomic orbital of sulfur which overlaps with 2p atomic orbital of oxygen along the molecular axis. ಎರಡು p orbital ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಎರಡರ ನಡುವೆ molecular axis ಪಾಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಇದೆ. molecular axis ಅಥವಾ internuclear axis overlapping ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟು one more sigma bond is generated. That is also 3p 2p sigma bond. Okay, in the molecule of SO3 we have 3 sigma bonds. ಆ 3 sigma bonds ಯಾವ್ಯಾವುದ್ರ ನಡುವೆ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ? ಯಾವ್ಯಾವುದ್ರ ನಡುವೆ ಅಂದರೆ first bond is formed between 3s and 2p, 3s of sulfur 2p of oxygen ಎರಡರ ನಡುವೆ sigma bond generate ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Now 3p and 2p of sigma bond, 3p 2p one more sigma bond is generated. It is all clear. Now we will move on to the next important concept, that is formation of 3 pi bonds. Formation of 3 pi bonds in which first pi bond, just consider this pi bond, ಈ pi bond ಅನ್ನು ಜನರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಈಗ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಜನರೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ? ಸಲ್ಫರ್ ಇಂದ ಯಾವ ಆಟಮ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ ನೋಡಿ? ಸಲ್ಫರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ we left with one more electron, 3p atomic orbital of a sulfur, this 3p atomic orbital of a sulfur atom which overlaps with 2p atomic orbital of oxygen, which overlaps with 2p atomic orbital of oxygen along sidewise overlapping, lateral overlapping. ಎರಡೂ ಪಿ ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್ಲೇ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಸಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ಬೋದಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 3p molecular axis bond formation not takes place because there are already existence of sigma bond between these two. ಎರಡು ಆಟಮ್ಗಳ ನಡುವೆ there is only one sigma bond is possible. That is why these 3p orbital of sulfur with 2p orbital of sulfur both undergoes sidewise overlapping leads to the formation of a p pi bond. ಯಾವ ಥರ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತದೋ ಆ ಬಾಂಡನ್ನು ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ, ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ್ದ್ರ ನಡುವೆ ಆಗಿರೋದಪ್ಪ, 3p pi and 2p pi bond. This is most important, don't get confused. How the pi bond is formed? It is formed by the lateral overlapping of 3p atomic orbital of sulfur with 2p atomic orbital of oxygen results in the formation of 3p pi 2p pi bond. This is first pi bond. It is clear. Second one, illi banni, sigma bond is already clear. Pi bond, okay, here in sulfur all the 3p atomic orbitals are already involved in a bond formation. We left atomic orbitals only in a 3D alli matra ide. Now these atomic orbitals are involved in the formation of a pi bond. Now this 3D atomic orbital which overlaps along sidewise or lateral overlapping with the 2p atomic orbital of this oxygen atom. ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ಸಲ್ಫರಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ 3D atomic orbital 3D which overlaps along sidewise overlap with the 2p atomic orbital of oxygen which results in the formation of, ನೋಡಿ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ್ದು ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, 3D ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, 2p ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಅಂದಮೇಲೆ ಎಂಥ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಜನರೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, 3d pi 2p pi ಬಾಂಡ್. ಇದನ್ನು ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಾರ್ದು, ಇದು ದೊಡ್ಡದೇನಲ್ಲ. 3d ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ 2p ಇವೆರಡು ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತವೆ ಏನನ್ನ, ಅಟಾಮಿಕ್ ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲನ್ನು. ಯಾವ ಅಟಾಮಿಕ್ ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್ಲು ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಸಲ್ಫರಲ್ಲಿ 3d ಅಟಾಮಿಕ್ ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನಲ್ಲಿ 2p ಅಟಾಮಿಕ್ ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ after the combination which bond is formed, that is represented by this pi bond is formed. Pi bond ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಓವರ್ಲ್ಯಾಪಿಂಗ್ ಲ್ಯಾಟ್ರಲ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ, ಲ್ಯಾಟ್ರಲ್ ಓವರ್ಲ್ಯಾಪಿಂಗ್. Okay, this is one more bond is formed. This one is also clear. Now we will move on to the third one. Here again we left with one more electron in 3D orbital. 3D orbital ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಇದೆ. ಆ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಆಫ್ 3D which overlaps with the 2p atomic orbital of oxygen. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ವೇಕೆಂಟ್ ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ವಿತ್ ಅನ್ಪೇರ್ಡ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಇದೆ, ಹಾಫ್ ಫಿಲ್ಡ್ ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್. 3D atomic orbital of sulfur which overlaps laterally on 2p atomic orbital of sulfur, 2p atomic orbital of oxygen which leads to the formation of one more pi bond. Okay, last pi bond heng formation ಆಯ್ತು ಹಂಗಾದ್ರೆ, again it is formed between 3d pi and 2p pi bond. ಈ ಥರ p pi d pi ಬಾಂಡ್ಸು p pi ಬಾಂಡ್ಸು ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತವೆ. ಇವೇನು ಹೊಸ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲ. p pi ಅಂತಂದರೆ pi bond is formed in between the 2p orbitals ಅಂತ. p pi d pi ಅಂತಂದರೆ the same pi bond is formed in between p orbital and d orbital ಅಂತ. ರಿಸಲ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಬಾಂಡನ್ನು p pi d pi orbital ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. Then how can we understand, and then how can we came to know the number of sigma pi p pi d pi bonds are present in the different molecules ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಈ ಥರ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಸನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾವು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. Then we are going to find out the number of d pi p pi bonds present in the respective molecule. Now how many number of identify the number of p pi d pi bonds ಅಂದರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ. d pi p pi bonds ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ, 2. In this particular molecule, SO3 molecule ಅಲ್ಲಿ 2 d pi p pi bonds ಇದೆ and 1 p pi p pi bond. Okay, remaining 3 sigma bonds. 3 sigma bonds. Okay, this is how we are going to calculate the number of p pi d pi bonds and p pi d pi bonds present in the respective molecules. This concept is most important from the competitive examination point of view. It is most important. Directly they can ask like this: identify the number of p pi d pi bonds present in the respective molecule. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟುದ್ದು ಐಡಿಯಾ ಇರಬೇಕು ಯಾವುದ್ರ ನಡುವೆ ಯಾವ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಓಕೆ, ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಎಸ್. In the next class we will move on to the continued part of this examples, that is types of covalent bonds ಅಲ್ಲಿ formation of p pi d pi ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದಷ್ಟು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ನ ನೋಡೋಣ. ಓಕೆ.